Okay, class, who can tell me what this is? Yeah, if you're a CPAP wearer and you have a full face and nasal mask, you might be familiar with the AirFit F30. Well, on Friday, I got a phone call from Lincare, which is my supplier of my headgear and my mask. And they told me that my beloved AirFit F30 is being discontinued, and would I like the F40? Basically, the woman on the phone was like, look, the F30 is being discontinued. I need to know right away if you want the F40. And when you're a CPAP user, your equipment matters to you, right? Because we go through blood, sweat, and tears trying to find equipment that works for you. Look at all the ways I've finagled this to make it work for me with my straps and cushioning and satin straps for my hair and these ones for my sides of my cheeks. I'll explain that in a second. But once you kind of get your setup, you kind of don't want them to mess with it. Like, you just want it to be set. And she was like, well, you could set up an appointment at Lincare to go get a fitting, but they're booking like almost 2 months out for just a fitting. And I was like, oh my gosh, just send me the F40. It's got to be close, right? Well, that was Friday, and today I got the F40. I got it. It came in this interesting packaging. It's got partial tube attached to it already, which I think is really wild. But it's very similar, but different, and it has its own headgear. Completely new headgear, which I still need to configure and fit, but I thought maybe you'd like to check it out with me and see how it compares to my beloved F30. What do you think? Now, without getting into too much TMI, and for those of you who aren't CPAP users, maybe you're not interested in this at all, but if you've been watching my channel and you catch a glimpse of my profile, I'll show you now. I have a Roman nose, an aquiline nose, and with quite a severe bump, okay, an aquiline bump. And because of that, a typical face mask, full face mask, doesn't work for me because it puts too much pressure on that spot on my nose, and I get sores there or blisters or other things that just hurt, and it just puts too much pressure right on that bone or that piece of cartilage right there on my bridge of my nose. Very high bridge. That's kind of why I tend to try to look for glasses with a keyhole to kind of alleviate the pressure on that spot. Well, this is the type of face mask, this F30, the type of full face mask that covers nose and mouth together, like this. You see? Covers my mouth and my nose so that I can breathe through my nose or my mouth. If my mouth falls open when I'm asleep, I don't lose any of my therapy because I can breathe through my mouth. But some of you have found me because of my mouth taping video. So I do have a tendency now to tape my mouth shut at night, and then I'm forced to breathe through my nose. And so far, that has been working really well for me. And if you want me to go into that any further, I absolutely will. I can make a separate video on that. But I really love this mask. This is a full face mask that does not put pressure on my nose. And trying to find a mask that would work for me like this has been a really big challenge. Well, not only that, but full face masks like this, when they're on, tend to leave strap marks, really deep strap marks on your face. And maybe you've been out and about and you've seen people with like indentations on their cheeks or on their foreheads. That's a telltale sign that they use a CPAP mask, and it probably is one very similar to this. Well, I did find these awesome felt, they're very, very soft, felt covered Velcro strap covers that are two-toned. So you can either, I tend to put them on the navy blue side, but you can put them on the bright blue side. I think they have purple and pink ones too, which I probably should get. But basically you wrap your face mask straps with this cushioned felt, and it prevents those divots on your cheeks, and they work really, really well. Now, with that said, when the mask is on, depending on where it's hitting your hair, and if if you're struggling with hair loss, or if you just don't want to struggle with hair loss, you have a choice of either sleeping with like a satin bonnet, like a hair bonnet, or you can get satin or silk strap covers that will help glide over your hair so it prevents breakage, so you lose less hair at night. I tried a million different types of bonnets and I can't get one that will work for my hair. So I tie my hair up, usually in a high ponytail or a bun. And then when I put my mask on, I put it on like a catcher's mask. So I'll put it up and over. But you'll see there's different points on my face where it touches, in my head where it touches. And if I didn't have these like strap protectors on here, it would wreak a lot more havoc. Okay, let me just show you real quick. I'm gonna put it on like a catcher's mask. So you'll see one of the straps goes right across the top of my head, which puts quite a bit of pressure like near my forehead, like near here. And I get a lot of hair breakage right there. And this clips under my nose and around my mouth. And then these are magnets that clip. Ta-da! Okay, so that's what that basically looks like, the way it is now. So now we have to configure the other mask to see if it's going to be any better or worse than my setup that I have now. So the first thing that I'm noticing with the F40 is that these two arms are bowed out, and these arms don't exist on the other mask. They're also already wrapped with like a satin cover. So what this kind of tells me at first glance is that there's a really good chance that these arms aren't going to be pressing against my face like the other straps are. So before I attach the headgear to the mask, I just want to put it up to my face and kind of get a sense of what this is going to feel like. And I'm right. So you can, without the headgear straps on, you can see that there's a gap. I'm hoping the gap stays there when I put the headgear on. Let's give that a try. So I have a pretty dinky sized head, a pretty small sized head. Usually a child's hat will fit me. And this is the small size mask. So this is a small size mask for my face. And they're saying that this is the standard headgear. And I think this headgear does come in standard and large for larger heads. But I find that there's, and the standard headgear is always very generous. So there are two pieces. There's the headgear and the mask, and it looks a little complicated and cumbersome, but it's really not. Really, you just have to make sure it's all oriented in the right direction and that the magnets clip where they're supposed to. So let's clip the magnet. So there are two magnets in the front. These ones will be the ones that will clip onto my headgear last, but I'm going to put them on there first just so that they're out of the way while I adjust the top straps. So the two bottom straps have been clipped on, and I can already tell that the straps, their factory setting is way too large for my head. So let's first attach, this would be the top headgear coming up and over my ears. We're going to feed this through the arm and use the Velcro to attach it to itself. And this will make sense when I put it on. I've just been doing this for a really long time. And then this Velcro goes in that armhole, and it will attach to itself because the Velcro will stick to the arm that's not covered by the satin strap. The satin strap is down here by the arm. Such a cool design. I think this, just looking at it, I think this is going to be an improvement. So I'm going to unclip the magnets and put this one on like a baseball catcher's mask and see where it hits me on my head. Oh, wow. So I can already tell this one, I don't know if you can see how far back, and I know it grabbed some of my hair, but it's hitting my head in a much better location, much further back, less right here and more back there, which already feels better. So now I just have to orient it where it would sit under my nose, and then there's the clips, but it's much too loose. So this is where I have to adjust. So we'll take this strap and pull it back. Take this strap, pull it back. Yeah, we're pretty adjusted. And like I said, I kind of suspected, if you can see that gap along my face, that means that I'm not going to get pressure on my cheeks because there's a gap where the other one is like flush right against my cheeks and causing that pressure. This one won't. So put that back. That is definitely an improved design. I am very impressed. I am really looking forward to sleeping with this mask for the first time tonight and seeing if it behaves well and doesn't cause any leaking for me. I think it's interesting that part of the tube is hanging off the front. That makes it very flexible at night. Now, my actual tubing that attaches to my machine for my continuous airway pressure will clip on the end of this. And I really like the fact that this is this flexible tubing. That's actually really nice. So what I would typically do is put my mouth tape on, which I'm not going to do right now. Put my mask on, clip in, and then put on my eye mask. I also have an eye mask. That I wear. And I like this one because it has eye holes for your eyelashes. So your eyelashes don't like compress and bend and break and get brittle. This one has cups for your eyeballs. I love it. Ta-da! I am actually really looking forward to trying this mask out. I hope I like it even better than the original. This one has been part of my life for years, and as you can see, I've basically had to rig it up so that it worked well for me. And this new one, I think, has taken into consideration much of the design flaws that this one has and has improved it. And I'm really, really, really impressed that whoever is designing these masks is actually, they're actually listening to the users. Because usually when things get changed or discontinued, the replacements are usually worse, in my experience, especially with CPAP. Leave me a comment. Do you use CPAP therapy? Were you surprised that I use CPAP therapy? Are you one of the 5 people that subscribed to me because of my last CPAP video? I would love to know. Leave me a comment. And if you do use CPAP therapy, how many years have you been using CPAP therapy? For me, I'm going on 30 years. My very first CPAP machine was a converted mini vacuum cleaner. I have had sleep apnea or diagnosed sleep apnea for many, 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 many years. And I have 2 types of sleep apnea. I have obstructive, but my obstructive isn't as bad as my central. I have central sleep apnea, which is the more rare kind. The central sleep apnea is when your brain actually forgets to sleep or switches off. You can look it up, but it's a brain issue, not a breathing issue. Yes, I am heavier, and yes, I do have huge tonsils. That does cause some of my sleep apnea, but most of my sleep apnea is caused in my brain. So that's a little fun fact of the day. Go drink some water. Thank you for watching. Stay delicious. Use your therapy. I'd love to know if you use it too. We can be twins. See you tomorrow. Good night. I am so excited right now because it has been a week and a day, or a week and a day, since I started cat sitting. Hey, kitty, kitty. And there are 2 cats here at this particular house. And today is the day that one of them decided to finally come out and greet me. And here she is. And I'm giving her treats. 2 kitties. Look, there's 2 kitties. Shocking. This one has been elusive all week. And today she's finally out to see me. Hi, baby girl. A treat. There's her sister right here. Bella, Bella. Do you want a treat? Oh, Izzy, you and I are friends. Let me see your sister. Oh, there she goes. Hi, precious girl. You came all the way out to the living room? Oh, my goodness. And there she goes. You're so sweet. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Come here, Shug. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, baby. I'm gonna miss you.